The November 20th regular board meeting of the Craven County Board of Education is now called to order. Mr. Stout, would you please take a roll call attendance of the board?
Ms. Jennifer Dacey.
Present.
Ms. Amy Davis.
Present.
Ms. Darlene Gibbs.
Present.
Mr. Lee Kirkland.
Present.
Ms. Laura Kitzinger.
Present.
Ms. Patty Mason.
Present.
Ms. Roy Space.
Present, thank you.
All present.
Are there any amendments to tonight's agenda as presented? Yes, Ms. Dacey?
I just have one. After some conversation with staff, I just asked that we remove, and I can explain later, but I'd like to remove from consent the policy 3400 evaluation of student progress. $3,400. With that amendment, I'd remove it from the consent. Yes, please.
Policy 3400 is removed. Amendments to the agenda as it's presented. Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented. Motion. I have a motion from Ms. Mason. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Ms. Dacey. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the agenda as presented by moving item policy number 3400 off the consent agenda, please indicate by the raising of your right hand. That is 7 for 7. Thank you. Ms. Kitzinger, would you please give us the safety procedures for this evening?
In the event of a fire emergency, we will split the room in half. The right side of the room will exit out the door to my left, and the left side of the room will exit out the door to my right. Those moving to my right will go out into the parking lot towards the bagel shop. Those moving to my left will go to the digital side near Glen Burnie Road and get as far away from the building until the fire department comes and clears the building.
At this time, I would like to recognize any elected officials that we have present. I don't see any in the room tonight. And our Craven County Principal of the Year, Dr. Artis from Craven Early College. I don't see him in the room. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you behind Mr. Stout. And our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Jackson, who comes from Grover C. Fields. So thank you for being with us tonight. I'd also like to recognize any of our principals and staff that are with us tonight. Thank you for being here, and thank you for taking an interest in the work of the board. I would like to recognize any of our retired educators. Do we have any retired educators or administrators in the room tonight? Well, if you're here, we appreciate you being here as well. At this time, I'd like to call on Mr. Brian Gatchell for our invocation.
Board members, if you'll please pray with me. We give thanks to you, O God, for you are good. Your steadfast love endures forever. For you have guided this body through the complex challenges of these times and have restored to us the assurance of your steadfast love in all circumstances. But why then do we doubt your provision? Why do we fail to trust in your care and keeping? Before we even call, you are already listening, providing for our needs in ways we cannot comprehend. While we are still sharing with you our worries and concerns, you have already heard the yearnings of our hearts. Praise be to you, O Lord, who has not rejected our prayers or withheld your love from us. So in the confidence we set before you the work of our hands and the desires of our hearts, praying in the strength that is ours when we call on your name. It is in your sovereign name we pray. Amen.
It is now time for the public input portion of our meeting. Ms. Mason, do we have anyone signed up for public input?
We have one.
Okay. So as we begin the public input portion of the meeting, we want to thank everyone for coming out to speak to the Board of Education tonight, and thank the other members of the public for being here tonight. Speakers will address the board from the speaker's podium at the front of the room, and begin your remarks by stating your name and address. Speakers are expected to be civil in their language and presentation. Public comment is not intended to require the board to answer any impromptu questions. However, the board, in accordance with our policy, will include a discussion of public input on the agenda, at which time the board may discuss issues raised in the public comment portion of the meeting. The Board of Education is here to listen to those who have signed up, and our speakers will be called upon one at a time and will have up to 5 minutes to speak. If you're still speaking when the alarm sounds, please take your seat. The decorum for our public meeting is to be polite and civil and respectful. I ask that your comments to the board be focused, polite, do not include any personal attacks or name calling, and be directed to the board. Please refrain from applause and other outbursts while the speakers are here. Thank you for your cooperation. And at this time, I would ask for you to call our first speaker.
Miss Cleopatra Hargett.
Good evening. Board members, community members, students, parents, staff members. Greetings, Honorable Chairwoman and school board members. I am Cleopatra Hargett Lawton. I've been before you before. I live at 1706 Carver Street, New Bern, North Carolina. I am a product of the segregated schools of New Bern, Craven County, North Carolina, and an alumni of West Street Historic School. I'm here representing over 600 plus citizens of our city of New Bern and others who have petitioned you to save our first school for freed slaves, West Street F.R. Daniels Historic School. I'm here today to ask for a status of our proposal titled Together We Stand. We have learned 3 important facts since our proposal. Number 1, researchers have indicated something I didn't know. The first school in New Bern for whites is a museum. Something I did not know. I just moved back 3 years ago. The New Bern Academy. I learned this because they're having tours this week. Number 2, I also learned you deeded over some of the land at H.J. McDonald School for $1. So we're not setting a precedent by asking you to do so for the West Street School property. Number 3, the highest crime rate, and you may look it up, in New Bern is Craven Terrace. Craven Terrace, which is 1 block from West Street Historic School. Are we trying to increase the crime rate? A museum there would improve that whole area. Let us do this. I am not going to read the rest that I presented to you, but I hope you will consider it. Thank you for allowing me to come again to make this appeal to you. Respectfully submitted, Cleopatra Hargett Lawton, Coordinator, West Street Society for Historic Preservation. We're now incorporated, a nonprofit. Formerly, we were a coalition to save, restore, and preserve West Street F.R. Daniels Historic School as the American Museum of the History of African American Education. And I'm also a member, as you know, of the Craven County School Superintendent's Focus Group. Thank you.
We have a break on the agenda right now, but we've only been in session for a few minutes, so we're going to just move forward with the agenda. And at this time, we will take this opportunity to discuss our public input portion. Is there anything from members of the board tonight? Okay. Hearing nothing there, we thank you very much, Ms. Hargett, for coming out to talk with us tonight. Our next item is, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Darlene Gibbs, who is going to read us a Career Development Month proclamation.
Hello. I'll just be reading this as I see it in front of me. State of North Carolina, Josh Stein, Governor. North Carolina Career Development Month and North Carolina Career Development Coordinator Day 2025 by the Governor of the State of North Carolina. A proclamation. Whereas, Career Development Coordinators in Career and Technical Education, CTE, programs in North Carolina's public schools are committed to helping students explore their potential in personal social development, education achievement, lifelong learning, and career management. And whereas, Career Development Coordinators advance the mission of North Carolina CET programs by connecting students with community resources and services that foster success in college and/or careers, preparing them to contribute meaningfully to their communities and society. And whereas, Career Development Coordinators empower students to make informed decisions regarding their post-high school plans, which may include intermediate employment in a civilian or military occupation or further education at a vocational program, community college, or university. And whereas, Career Development Coordinators support the work of CTE organizations by extending student learning based on instructional competencies. And whereas, Career Development Coordinators assist students in understanding the 16 career clusters in the National Career Clusters Framework, representing more than 70 career pathways to success in college, career, and residence readiness. And through career development education, CTE students gain the critical thinking, creativity, problem-solving, leadership, and essential employability skills necessary to thrive in the modern business world and contribute to the vitality of our state and nation. And whereas, the National Career Development Association has declared November 2025 National Career Development Month and November 19, 2025 National Career Development Day. Now, therefore, I, Josh Stein, Governor of the State of North Carolina, do hereby proclaim November 2025 as North Carolina Career Development Month and November 19, 2025 as North Carolina Career Development Coordinator Day in North Carolina, and commend its observance as to all citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbs. And we don't need to take any action on that. We appreciate that, though, and we certainly appreciate Career Development Month in Craven County. Our next agenda item is to approve the regular meeting minutes that were from October 14th, 2025 work session and the October 16th regular board meeting. And at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of those dates.
Last Thursday, on Thursday at a work session, we gave an action item to ask the principals to bring back their top 3 budget concerns for the school improvement plans, and I don't see those in the minutes.
You don't see that action reflected in the minutes that we
Yes,
asked
ma'am.
them to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Ms. Stacy?
So I agree with Ms. Mason. I do recall that discussion. I don't recall if it was the Tuesday work session or the Thursday board meeting. I know, I believe it might have been the evening meeting. That's the one you were not in attendance. So that's why I'm thinking it may be that one. Because I think you were acting as chair at the time, Ms. Mason. So I think that means it was the Thursday. So I'm fine with making that amendment, but we'll need to to make that amendment.
Okay.
Obviously, to everybody's satisfaction, so I'd ask that we just push that off, would be my motion. Okay?
So,
I could agree with that.
so I would entertain a motion to amend the minutes for October 14th and 16th with the amendment to add the action item for principals to bring forward three top priorities. So October 14th as presented and October 16th as amended.
Right, I would, Madam Chair, I would request that we wait to actually review the amendment to be sure that it comports with everybody's recollection before we.
Okay, so we'll remove the October 16th minutes. So I would entertain a motion to approve the October 14th minutes
So moved.
as presented. I have a motion from Ms. Dacey. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Ms. Davis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Minutes as presented, please indicate by the raising of your right hand. That's 7 for 7. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve the closed session meeting minutes as presented for the October 13th panel hearing, the October 14th closed session minutes, and the October 16th closed session minutes.
So moved.
Yes, Ms. Dacey.
So moved.
I have a motion from Ms. Dacey to approve those. Do I have-
Second.
And a second from Ms. Mason. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the closed session minutes as presented, please indicate by the raising of your right hand. That's 7 for 7. Thank you. Moved one item from the consent agenda. Ms. Dacey, did you want to discuss that tonight, or did you want to move that to next month's agenda?
I'm looking at Dr. Sellers, who I spoke with about this right before, and I don't want to put her on the spot, so I would ask that we move that, and I'm happy to explain why I'm asking
Sure.
that we discuss it a little bit at next month's meeting. So there were a number of news reports earlier in the fall about the review of state board policy. It's GRAD 009, and that is the state board policy that is informing our board policy 3400 evaluation of student progress. So in the news reports about the changes the state board was discussing, there were some takeaways that I think were not entirely accurate, but there was some language in their previous version of the state board policy that indicated a force fail could only be used for a student, and this is the quote, force fail may only be used for a student who does not have a passing grade based on content and also has significant absences based on local board policy. And then they had a sentence in there that stated a student may not fail a course based solely on attendance. And of course, we have made huge strides toward ensuring that our students are in attendance so that we can improve our scores and make sure everybody's learning and doing well and getting the instruction that they need to be successful students and citizens. And so I think a number of school board members from across the state, myself included, I think Ms. Mason also weighed in with the state board in opposition to that language. And I think in talking with Dr. Sellers and Dr. Artis, I think this is something that our high school principals would like to discuss a little bit more in terms of what our local policy might be on this. And so I think I'd like to give them an opportunity to look at it further. And you'll see, if you look at the policy, even in the draft form, it does currently, there are some references to local policy in the policy itself, but I think we might want to have our language read a little bit differently.
Okay. So I will take an action that we'll move that to first read in the work session for December. Okay. There are no other changes or things to remove from the consent agenda. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion.
I have a motion from Ms. Mason. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second from Mr. Kirkman. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, less policy 3400, please indicate by the raising of your right hand. And that's everybody. Thank you. This time I would entertain a motion to go into closed session. We need
Those
to
would
go
be
into
for
closed session
personnel and
from-
to consult with the
Yes.
attorney A3, A6. I promise it will not be long.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to go into closed session. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by the raising of your right hand. The board is in closed session. At this time, I will turn it over to my fellow board members to give us any comments or celebrations that they would like. Who would like to start that tonight?
Sure,
Mr.
Madam
Kirkman.
Chairman. Yeah, just a very quick word. I know next week is Thanksgiving, and we certainly have an awful lot to be thankful for. And one of the many things that is on my list of giving thanks for is this school system that we have. I know we're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but we have been making some strides on some things, and one of the things I'm very thankful for is to be a part of this board as we keep moving forward. And then secondly, very thankful for all the many folks that we have that make up the Craven County school system. Our 11,800 students, our employees that we have, our teachers, all these many folks that come together to help move our system forward and help our students succeed. And we are very fortunate with the folks that we have. I would definitely put our teachers and administrators and staff up against any other system in our state. We're very thankful to have these folks, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving and break next week.
I'm just going to say I'm thankful for Lee because, I mean, you really can't beat all that he just said. So,
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just a couple things. We spoke a lot on, it feels like longer ago than Tuesday, but we spoke a lot on Tuesday about last week's School Boards Association conference, and just a couple quick things from that. We did have, as we do every year, an award ceremony there, and I know Mr. Kirkman was there for some of that with me, and there are lots of awards given at that ceremony, and there's also individual level recognition, and so I wanted to point out that Ms. Mason received the Certificate of Merit, and that means that she'd earned somewhere between 31 and 100 hours already. So they recognize your cumulative hours that you've received in terms of your board training. And I got a Certificate of Achievement, which is a little bit more than that, but that's because I've been around longer. So that was, did she? Okay, I missed it. All right, so which were you? That's what it's kind of hard to read through all the names. So you must have also had a Certificate of Merit then, right? Or at least. Okay, all right, awesome. So I just wanted to point that out, so everybody's getting in their training. And then I brought home little gifts because the School Board Association had these really handy dandy. They're a little large, so not pocket size. It's more like a placemat, but it conveniently has a compass, kind of like our little logo over there, but it's got shorthand Robert's Rules of Order motions chart. So I've got one for everybody. So in the interest of us all, having a perfectly efficient meeting. So there you go. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for all the hard work at this school system and look forward to the next year.
Just wish everyone a safe holiday season. Come back and let's finish out this year with high scores. Thank you.
I've got a couple of different things. This is not directly school related, but over the last month or so, I think most people know that my middle child plays football for the Youth Rams, and this year at the Super Bowl we played the Craven Jags, which they play in the James City area at Creekside, and they're really, really good. They're such a good team. We lost to them, so they are our conference champs, and somehow we ended up going to the state championship game. And our team won the first round, but when it came to the second round, we didn't even have to play that game to become state champs because the team that we played showed such poor sportsmanship the day prior and in the parking lot. And our coaches and our players held their heads high. They were respectful, they were kind, they were patient, all while being screamed and yelled at and talked down to and disrespected by both players and their coaches. And so I think that goes, I just wanted to point out the gentlemen that are our players that are on a 9U team, or no, I think it's a 10U. Sorry, my child's 9. But the way that those kids are raised, and they're in a classroom all day, so that goes to show a lot of what they are being taught at school and how to be respectful, even in a state of adversity, because they could have reacted. And their coaches handled the situation very well. One of the coaches was a coach at Havelock High School until recently, and he's a great man as well. Anyways, so there's that. And also, I'm going to piggyback off of what Mr. Kirkman said. I'm thankful for this school district, and I'm thankful for all of you guys. It may not always seem like it, but everybody in this room and everybody in this building and everybody in this district, all of the adults, all the students, it's a hard road sometimes. It gets really bumpy and really nasty, but at the end of the day, I'm really, really thankful to be here and to be a part of something that is so much bigger than ourselves. So thank you guys so much.
So moved.
Second.